What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Christian Kuntz Podcast. I'm here with my boys Trey, Jesse, and Swing behind the boards. No special guest today. The boys are just going to chop it up. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. What's went down with, obviously, the Steelers and our situation. You know, Mink's gone. We brought in Jonnu Smith, Jalen Ramsey. Crazy sequence of events, but you know, I've gotten so many questions. I'm sure you guys have gotten. Like, sure. It's Pittsburgh. Like, we always get questions about. Everybody can just talk about the Steelers, and I just respond back. It's the NFL, dude. Like, this is the business, and if anybody on our team knows the business, it's Minkah. He's a straight businessman, and you know, I sucks losing a guy like that in the locker room, obviously, but and a player like that and a person because he's unreal, but. It's a business, dude. Right. I don't know. What were your guys' first thoughts? When I first heard, I'm like, "There's no way." I didn't know. I didn't think we were trading Mink. I didn't know. Like, right. I had no idea. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny just because, that's how like the rumors go on social media. Mm-hmm. You at first see, you're like, "Oh, we got Jalen Ramsey. That's awesome," and then 5 minutes later, you know, it's at the cost of Minkah, but also get Jonnu Smith and. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Minkah returns back to his original team.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
This is like, has that ever happened in the NFL?
So.
Traded from Miami to Pittsburgh, played 5 years, and back to Miami on a trade.
And, like, balled out, too. So, like, we did really well with that transaction. And it does kind of show the cruelty of, like, the business in the sport because, you know, he came with us and killed it. And then all of a sudden, I feel like, the tone amongst fans and maybe the offices, I don't know. I don't even think you would know. It's probably kept behind closed doors. I guess they think he's slowing down, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, it's Minkah Fitzpatrick. He killed it. He did everything right, and now it's just like, all right, you know, your time's up. And I think it's probably to save money, but
dude, I think there's always somebody they want to blame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they should let Minkah go out on his shield, bro, and just give him the credit that he deserves, bro, and call it that. The fact that they're saying that he's slow or
crazy,
he didn't do something like this, bro. Like 9 times out of 10, these bums on social media, and again, I'm gonna say it loudly, bums on social media, usually act like they know what they're talking about, but haven't played past Pop Warner. You know what I'm saying? Like if you watch the film like you're supposed to, you realize that sometimes the coverages just change, bro. Like you're asking a man to do a lot. You know what I mean? So like he's a great safety. Then on top of that, like Jesse said, bro, like. They're not thinking about the business aspect, bro. Like, there's business behind that. You couldn't keep that many stars on one team without letting go somebody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I told my friends, I said, it's either you got to think about it like that's a lot of cap room. So it's either Minkah or is it TJ? Mm-hmm. Because we just picked up 7 all-pro guys within one summer. So, like, what do we want them to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so much that you could do. So, like.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I feel like a lot of people forget about the business side of it. Dude, this is the NFL. This is a business. I don't care what position, where you're at, what you're doing. They're always trying to replace you.
Yeah.
Like and that this just clearly shows it. Obviously, Mink is a Hall of Fame talent. Like,
right. Best
person ever. Like he's unbelievable, and they just it's a business at the end of the day. And sure. I feel like the people. Sometimes now they're all looking for things like Minkah slow. Like
what are we
talking about?
Come on, bro.
Like who's Minkah slow because on one play maybe that someone put up he took a wrong angle or got beat. Like this is the NFL. It's the NFL. Everybody gets their ass beat here. Like the baddest of baddest get beat.
They were trying to pull up clips against Henry and I'm like, bro, like 90.9% of the whole entire league is not tackling this man one-on-one. I'm just letting y'all know that right now.
Yeah.
So, like, don't disrespect my man and his talent, bro. Like, he put a lot out here for Pittsburgh, and at the end of the day, sometimes these things happen, so let him go out on the shield, bro. Give him
100%.
some love.
Shout out, Mink. I mean, I'm going to miss Mink in the locker room as a teammate, watching him work, dude. Like, Mink's a pro. Mink's a pro, and he leads, he's a quieter guy, but he leads by example. And, like, the way he works on the field, off the field, on the plane, in his playbook.
Yeah.
It's top tier.
Yeah, that's all you really hear about a guy like Minkah, which has got to be, like, one of the cooler things. Like, you could care less about what the fans say at times or, like, what, clickbait stuff is trying to say. But to get it from your peers, like, I was seeing guys post about, hey, like, hell of a dude. Like, good luck
Great
finishing it out in Miami. But it is interesting. Like, one of my favorite things to see is guys that you forgot that played on X, Y, and Z team. Because you'll see a guy that plays for like a team for a really long time, and then you get to see like the forgotten uniforms that they did put on, which I always think is kind of interesting. But it just really goes to show that.
Name some real quick.
There was Jerry Rice, there was Andre Johnson, Randy
Sanders.
Moss, Deion Sanders. Just so many like random guys that you're like, oh shit, I forgot he played for that team.
I kind of almost forgot Joey Porter Sr. played for Miami. Like he went to Miami after,
And the Cardinals.
and the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And like Santonio went to New York. Like
The Jets,
like,
Chicago. I think he played for.
Yeah,
too.
like these guys.
You forget.
Yeah.
And, but it just goes to show, like, J.J. Watt. I mean, he played for the Texans forever. I think a lot of fans probably would have never thought he was gone, and then went to Arizona, and then because that's what I was hearing the comparison with T.J. Like, people are like, oh, we'll never let T.J. go, and it's like, it is a business at the end of the day. And I think I just heard today that he is seeking a highest paid position ever beyond a quarterback.
Dude,
so
yeah.
he deserves it, and it's
So
gonna
what
be
are you
interesting.
gonna do? That's why I can't
Bro.
even be mad at the Steelers. Like, if you're gonna go give that man that type of bag, you gotta have room to do that. Like,
Yeah, but at the same time, like I saw a stat, or I think we talked about TJ leads the league in forced fumbles. Like the last 7 years, he's like 32 forced fumbles or 31, something crazy.
He's a defense by himself.
Turnovers.
Yeah, it's wild.
Dude, that's like a wild number.
Yeah.
Like the Vegas game last year where he punched 2 balls out, like
It's crazy.
you know how like you get upfield,
yeah,
they're running like a stretch or whatever, outside backer gets a little upfield then peels back. The fact that like you know how hard it is to make a tackle in general, like against an NFL back?
Yeah.
And this dude's like punching the ball at the same time as making a tackle with like precision and like the ball. It's like a wild thing.
this man's the
He's
peanut
worth
punch king. Bro.
Yeah.
He punches the ball out better than
Charles
anybody
Tillman.
else.
He's worth it for sure. But on the flip side of things, we add Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Like,
Dude, we have added some serious like
Defensive weapons.
veteran presence on defense, on offense,
Famers.
Hall of Famers. On it's crazy. It's gonna be cool to see. Our secondaries,
Unreal.
Slay, Joey, Ramsey, Deshaun, Bean. Like
shout out to Sean. We signed him 2 more
Killer
years.
Brew, my dog.
Come on, man.
But we just like I don't know. It's. I think our defense is always nasty. I mean,
sure.
and Harmon and Cam and all these guys up front, Keanu, Peyton, PQ, Alex. Like, cool. We could just keep naming guys.
This
like,
is the real Steel Curtain back at it. That's what I'm seeing right now.
Open.
It's like everyone's loading up. I mean, since he loaded up on offense, it seems like obviously, they're a juggernaut on offense, and I feel like we're like trying to match them on defense, like going to get these guys.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm excited. I mean, Jalen Ramsey, like, dude, that dude's a splash play waiting to happen. Like, anytime he's on the field, you don't know, like, he could either stick you, force a fumble, or just run all the way across the field, get a pick.
Bro, you're about to get to watch Jalen Ramsey and DK Metcalf go at it every single day of practice.
Yeah.
That's where it's
going to
lit.
be wild.
Yeah.
I'm not going. That's dope.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh, you guys know, like, Steelers training camp's like,
Unreal.
Yep.
it's no joke. Like, Mike T makes this, one of the, and guys will say this, one of the harder training camps in the NFL. And these receivers and DBs, bro, and these linebackers and backs and the front, obviously the front, like,
Crazy.
they
Matchups are
get
crazy.
after it.
I'll say this, bro. If you guys gel, like really gel on that defense, this is the best defense in the NFL, in my opinion. Like, you had TJ, you had all these guys back, right? You have a bunch of Hall of Famers on one defense. Then you have a Hall of Fame quarterback. Then you say you're gonna have probably another Hall of Fame receiver. Like, it's a crazy team right now, and I miss Mink. I love Mink to death, but like, you guys have a stacked team right now, so you got to go do something. That's what I feel like everybody feels.
Stacked team.
I'm interested to see what the reporters got to be salivating at the opportunity this year. I mean, there's personalities. Like, I don't think I've ever seen this many like dominant personalities in Pittsburgh. And again, I've said it on shows, a couple of our episodes before, but I've been just so excited and like looking forward to seeing how we continue to move forward. I guess if it's the implementation of Omar Khan, because it's just been like we're getting people. We've always been the homegrown, which is great, and it's paid off. Like, with Ben and all the other guys that we've had over the years that we've kept for a long time. But, we're still really good at the drafts, it seems like. And then on top of that, now we're just going in and filling in the holes that we needed, which we used to really not. We would get kind of bench role player guys.
Yeah.
But now we're like, no, we got to fill this hole, go get so-and-so. And, yeah, it's been
I want your
crazy.
opinion, Jesse, and I want your opinion as well. In your eyes, who's the rookie that breaks out? Or who's having a breakout season? I say Calvin Austin. I'm going to stand behind my man, Cal.
I got mine.
Who you got?
Who's yours? Caleb Johnson?
Yeah,
I like that one.
I think from what I've been hearing, like people saying better than Genty, like, yeah, and it's hard to tell.
Did you see his college film?
That's what they're basing it off of, and they were saying like his.
Yeah, he
moves.
can run, bro.
Yeah,
he moves, bro.
He can move, and
I think
he's
he
a
made
big.
up like 40% of their offense for Iowa, but
He-
as a running back,
He's
it's
a big
crazy.
dude too. Like
Yeah.
hopefully we get him in here. Like when you see him, like he's a big dude too. Like I would not want
6'2",
to.
6'1".
Yeah, he's probably 6'2".
That's a big back.
He's a big back. He kind of looks like Naj a little bit, honestly. Like
Okay.
he looks like Naj.
Yeah,
Is he
I agree.
more explosive in terms of – because I've seen their speed comparison. I see they're a lot alike personally. Like I've seen a lot of similarity. One thing I do like about Caleb is that he has that quick burst that he can get out of there.
Yeah, he might be
You
a
know what I'm
little
saying?
bit quicker.
Yeah.
maybe.
But there's a lot of similarity.
I'm definitely excited to see him. Because I haven't been able to see these guys in pads in an NFL setting. It's nice in training camp. You get to see them in pads in a full live period, like
Right.
Yeah.
going at it and how they adjust. But my breakout players are going to come from the O-line. In their
Yeah.
second year, Zach Frazier and McCormick.
Come on.
Yeah.
I think that's a great pickup.
I just think, dude, those two are like attached at the hip.
It's great.
They're like boys. They work together. They play together. I just think year 1 to year 2 in the NFL, especially in the O-line with how many reps they got, like you got to expect a big jump. And those guys know that. And I think that they're going to make a big jump for us.
Yeah.
I would love
And
to
our
see that.
O-line's going to be underrated for sure.
Yeah, we also got Roman Wilson, who's technically still a rookie.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't.
Yeah.
So like, we still have that.
Everyone's forgetting. Yeah, everyone's forget about Roman. Like
Yeah.
Roman had a bad ankle injury, dude. Like he sucked. It was a hip drop tackle. It was an accident in training
gotta get rid
camp.
of that.
Yeah, but we're live period. Guys are competing and it happened. And an ankle injury, dude. Like I twisted my ankle. Was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I got rolled up on.
Was it high or low ankle?
Mine was a high.
That's the hardest one to come back
And
from
dude,
right
like
there.
I thought my whole leg went in half. Like I thought I broke my leg, and thankfully it was just my ankle. Like those as a receiver, and like I was able to play, obviously tape it up.
You can't plan on that, bro.
As a receiver, planting and stuff, like that's a hard injury to come back from. So I'm excited for Roman. I'm excited for this whole year. I'm excited for training camp, dude. It's gonna be.
I'm OD excited. I want to see how Uncle T, man, he manages all these different personalities, bro, because, like, this is a lot for Pittsburgh overall. Like, we're a big market, but a small market at the same time. Like, we're a big town for real. You
Big
know what I'm
town,
saying?
yeah.
But, like, although we're a big town, we said this yesterday, bro, like, we're one of the number one, or not, like, top 3 markets in the entire world for sports. Like, people know the logo. So, like, right now, bringing all this talent in right now, bro,
Yeah.
like, it's going to go crazy.
It's crazy. If anybody can manage the personalities, it's Coach
Uncle T, man.
Yeah,
That's
like,
right.
oh yeah, he's gonna love
He
this.
got it.
I think like he's gonna be able to. What's really good too is I think we're bringing a lot of really good rookies. We brought in 2 defensive tackles who better
dogs.
than to have Cam Hayward. mentor them. You think about like how good Joey with Jalen Ramsey being there is gonna get.
Slay.
He's supposed to also Darius Slay.
Oh, my God.
And then like Jalen's supposed to be playing a little bit of safety too, so he might even make
dangerous.
Deshaun Elliott even better. Which Deshaun put up like historic numbers last year, which nobody even like
Talks
really
about.
was like talking about. And there's just so many exciting things for this team. We got Jack Sawyer.
Sawyer.
Sawyer of one of
That's
the
like almost
5 names.
worse as his. Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, I think that's gonna be exciting. I'm excited to see the development for like Will Howard with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's super raw, untapped potential. One of the benefits I don't think a lot of people recognize. People see like Aaron Rodgers coming on, and they're just looking at the portfolio and the age. And I'm thinking like more of the brain. Like this is
100%.
another coach.
Talk that shit, Jesse.
As you get those veterans in, yes, like they're not as fast or whatever, but to be on the field and be a coach, I think has such a great impact on some of these guys. So watching like, even with Mason being able to mentor Will,
There's a lot
like,
to it, yeah.
that's huge too. I think I
100%.
don't think Will could have came into a better
Situation.
situation for quarterbacks to
I agree.
by his side. So,
I think he's the next type of Ben. You know what I'm saying? To a degree, I don't want to put that on Ben because you know what I'm saying. Ben's a Hall of Famer. I don't want to put that out there, but I'm going to say he's going to be the next best Will Howard.
Yes.
Right? Because like he has two amazing mentors in front of him. Like you said, Mason Rudolph. You have Aaron Rodgers. And the one thing that people sleep on when it comes to Will Howard is his ability to move. Right. He can run the ball.
Yeah.
And
he's
he's
a big
6'4", bro. He's big as hell.
I think he's bigger than 6'4". He's big. He's a big boy.
dude.
Yeah, and he can move.
And
It's gonna be an exciting year. And another exciting Pittsburgh. The Buccos on a 5-game win streak. They're winning right. They're winning right now, 1-0.
I know.
Mitch Keller pitching.
Yeah, it's been an interesting season.
It's been an interesting season, but I was looking at their record. They're 13 games back from 500.
Okay.
We got the All-Star break coming up here. What, next week? 2 weeks?
2 weeks, probably.
2 weeks, mid-July. So they're making a little. I mean, I liked Shelton, the old skipper.
Yeah.
I know they made a change, but it almost seems like these guys are like playing harder.
Yeah, they lit a fire in there.
Yeah,
I like that.
They lit a fire under them, and obviously we're diehard Pirate fans. I mean, but it is cool to see them 5 straight. I mean, they played Detroit. They played who else? I mean, the Cardinals. They could sweep the Cardinals today if they win this one. Yeah. So we love our
they're the
Buccos.
first team to score 30 runs in a series and only give up 4 or something in MLB history.
The run differential, it was like 34-4 against the Mets.
Yep.
That's really
like
crazy.
the Mets bankroll is a lot higher than the Pirates
That's for
bankroll.
dang sure.
So it's crazy. We also had some UFC, some Jake Paul fights.
Come on.
Did you guys watch any of that?
I did.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah, I just saw highlights.
What did y'all watch?
I just saw the highlights for Jake Paul, and all I'll really say about that is like, I think it's just undeniable, like just the progression. I'm not going to sit here and say he could like get in the ring with the best of the best. And I'm also not saying I'm going to get in the ring with the best of the best. So I always hate like commentating on sports or anything because it's like, who the fuck am I to say anything? But like I will speculate, but I will give the players like the benefit of the doubt.
He can box.
But the dude can box.
Yeah,
like I'm just
hands.
watching some of his shots, and I don't know nearly as much about boxing as any other sport. I know you follow it. But it looks pretty damn clean and pretty damn good.
He's
you
good.
see the progression. I saw his like first fight photo to now. Just give the credit to it. I get it. Like he's like a punk on YouTube, but at the end of the day, it's like if that was like your little brother or like somebody in your family, you'd be like, dude, he's
the
cool.
coolest dude
yeah,
ever.
He's so cool. But like, just because that's not somebody or you just kind of look at him like, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
like,
well,
I'd be so pumped. If that
I
was
feel
you.
like early on in Jake Paul's career as like a YouTuber, he was doing stuff that people probably hated
of
and
course.
whatever they laughed
right?
at him. But like, dude, this dude built a $1 billion brand.
Yeah,
like he's and
Out of
and what I heard that he's doing for Ben Askren, I don't know if this is true or not, but
lung transplant.
he's like he's putting together the money, and that dude like hated Askren. Didn't he fight Askren? Knocked him out.
Like that. Yeah.
They hated each other, and now this dude's like coming back, and that's to give this man a double lung transplant or raise the money to make sure his insurance can
that's
afford it.
That's using your platform.
Yeah, like that stuff's cool.
I will say like, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that they've done in previous has been for show. Like I don't think we know the real Jake Paul or his
100%.
brother. You know what I'm saying? So like when you actually meet the person, a lot of people get shocked and they're like, oh, this is who you really are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of this stuff is for show, bro. Like you got to think, bro. This is nonstop 24/7. People are on social media, so everything's for show. Even normal people are for show nowadays, right?
Yeah,
so
everybody.
Like, and you're starting to see, bro, there's real life organizations who want to give Jake Paul a real chance to fight some of the real fighters. So if he's willing to do it, like that's a fighter, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So like right now, man, I love to see that he's still fighting. He didn't let it just be something that he just did for show, right? He continuously tries to get better, continuously tries to find a new
respects too.
Yeah, he's paying his respects. He's paying his dues. But then you show humility when a guy that you supposedly hated, which again I think was for show, but like you're taking a chance to really help him out. That shows your real character.
Yeah.
Forget all the lights, forget all the other scenes, like who you are as a person that shows up, and that showed up, and I really appreciate that.
That gave me chills a little bit, like to hear him. He's like, listen, he kind of called out Dana White. He called out some people. He's like, none of these people are doing anything for Ben Askren. He's like, I'm stepping up. I want to do something for Ben Askren. And I was like, dude,
That's cool.
dude's probably cool as hell.
Yeah.
Think about what you just said, though, bro. Like, it's just not too long ago the UFC started giving people fight bonuses above $1 million. And Dana White's making far more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Now that we're talking about that, let me ask you something, because you follow the fight game a
All
little
day.
more than me. So the Oliveira fight and
Ilya, I can't even say his last name.
Topier or whatever. Yeah. They fought this past weekend. I didn't watch this card. I watched the card before that, who was Buckley and Usman.
Yes.
I was disappointed, low-key, with the fights because I felt like, at least not the prelims, but even the main card and the fights before the main event, like, now that they're getting paid a little more, they're kind of a lot more cautious about how they're fighting.
They're hesitant.
Like, they're not killing each other like they used to. Like, dude, back in the day, I feel like the UFC, there was no rules.
Right.
And that's why they like Ilya right now. Everybody loves Ilya Topuria right now because, like, he goes in there with the one mission to, I'm ending you in the first round. I'm ending
you, yeah.
Like, I'm not having conversation. One of the things he said in the interview was, like, I'm sorry it has to be you. Because he has a high respect for Charles Oliveira. But he even said to him, he's like, I'm sorry it has to be you, but you're going out in the first round. I thought that was the most G shit that you could
that's gangster.
Yeah.
And then he did it, though. That's the biggest part. He's knocked out 3 guys that have never, either A, have never been knocked out, or B, highly regarded. You understand me? Like Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. Like, bro, you're naming some names, bro, that, like,
Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers in the sport. And he's knocking them out first round, second round. And I'm talking about, like, putting it on them, bro.
Would you agree with me, though, that the fight, or would you disagree that the fight game, like, I was really disappointed with that, like, the one card that I saw. I was like, dude, this kind of sucks. They're feeling each other out. Like, they're like, a guy knew he was up 2-0, and I understand you want to win the fight. But, like, he's, like, almost running from him in the third round.
I say that there's more rules in the UFC now. Like, guys are trying to win by points more so than winning by knockout. The old way that we knew was, like, people were just in there trying to kill each other, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I would prefer that way more than anything. That's why I like Ilya right now. There's a couple fighters that I like that are currently like that in the UFC. But, like, you'll also see people trying to win with points, right? Multiple takedowns, multiple different ways to keep themselves from getting knocked unconscious.
Or getting, I guess I didn't really think about the points. It's just kind of like wrestling. You want to win by points, but I'm so used to, like, we watch the sport because you want to see knockout. You want to see a guy get knocked out. I mean,
I would imagine it's just kind of like the trending of all sports these day and age. Like, this day and age is where it's like longevity and being able to, like, save yourself for more fights.
It's like the NFL.
Like, if you're telling me I can make $5 million off of one fight and win it, or I can make $25 million and get 6 other fights in by playing it smart, whether it's win or lose, I understand that it's tough for some of the fans to watch. Like, you know, the true football heads are like, I miss the Brian Dawkins era.
Right.
Baseball's changed, basketball's changed, you know. But at the end of the day, I again, it always comes down to, like, what would you do in these positions if it was you or your family or friends?
Right.
Like, you'd be telling your boy, hey, save your head, like, save your jaw in that fight. You got 6 other fights. If you get knocked out or you get because in a fight, you gas yourself early on, you leave yourself vulnerable to getting knocked the fuck out.
Bro,
so, and if that's one of those sports where it's, you talk about football as a death certificate, fighting goes by, you know, almost 2 to 3 folds.
Come on, bro.
Did you happen to see the video of Sean Strickland wrestling? Well, he was in the octagon with the Cardinals. I think it was their starting center and starting guard. I mean, he was trying to take him down. These dudes were bullying him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously they're probably 100 pounds more than Strickland. What's he, 200, 220?
Like
these guys probably 320.
Right.
But it was interesting to see these big boys. Like, he tried to put his hands on him and they grabbed him, threw him around. Like, it was cool.
Now, you got to really see what's terrifying to watch is the heavyweights who can move like a lightweight. Like, you're talking about a guy who's 250, 280, and he's moving like he could be a receiver out there, kicking people, punching people, right? So, like, for me, bro, right now, back to his point, I think sports are starting to come back, though. And the only reason why I say that is because of the NBA Finals. I watched T.J. McConnell go play real defense. Like, I'm talking about, like, real hands on floor. You remember how they used to play defense back then?
We're going to talk to him about it, too.
Come on, bro. Like, you hike the shorts up.
They were grabbing his wrist. I mean, now that we're talking about the NBA Finals, dude, that was probably the best finals that I've seen.
In a long time.
Like, the best pure basketball since, like, the Spurs were playing, I feel like. And back in the day with Parker, Duncan, like.
Small markets.
Yeah, like, not the biggest markets. And so to merge all of our points kind of in the middle, like, there still are going to be guys like TJ's, like, but you won't see Shai Gilgeous out there, like,
100%.
Doing that.
That's
you know what I mean? He's not going to
hard.
be playing that. So,
Ant-Man.
which it's not.
He'll be doing
He's a little bit of a different breed. But it's not to, like, knock those guys, because would you rather have Shai putting up 40 or getting 3 steals, right?
You can't
like,
ask me that.
You want the Dort, like, Yeah,
you
want
need the
TJ
Lou Dorts,
McConnell.
yeah, you need the
those guys to
Wallaces.
do that, and you'll still have that across the board. But you just got to play things more like a business now. And again, for the couch fans to be like, oh, he needs to play tougher defense. You wouldn't in that situation as well too, knowing that you're about to get a contract year coming up, because Shai just got another $200+ million.
Yeah, his contract.
Dude, he's making $73 million a year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Super max. I mean, him and Jaren Jackson from Memphis.
Yeah,
But think about that though. Like,
yeah.
I say basketball is a different sport, and the only reason why I say basketball is a different sport because one player can change the whole game in basketball.
Yeah.
So like in those situations, bro, like when you see an Ant-Man going out there going on offense, scoring 50, but then shutting down your best guy to 15,
Yeah.
that to me is real basketball. I feel like at some point in time, right, like those guys naturally are going to call out people to do that just by how they play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you'll see Shai every once in a while play defense because Oklahoma Thunder plays defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
overall as a team, they play
Yeah, they
really
play great
good
team
defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you see that type of ball coming back. I say it's from the 90s because the guys are actually playing strong defense. They're running sets, right?
Yeah.
This age of basketball that I seen in the finals gave me hope, and it makes me want to go back and watch NBA again.
Well, yeah, because look at those teams. It's cool to see teams outside of the Warriors, Lakers. Like
Right.
I do like
Right.
watching greatness, but at the same time, like it was Shai and Halliburton / Pascal Siakam. So it was you had one star,
Yeah.
like and maybe a half of a star. And then the rest was all just like gritty bench guys. Just so that's why I think we saw that. If it ended up being like a LeBron versus a Warrior, or whatever, if it just ended up being like the superstars, it would have been a slower paced game. It would have
That's
been
control
more
of being a
offense.
I agree.
superstar.
Yeah,
I agree.
but you got to see two
Yep.
teams, and I think that's where the shift in, especially basketball, might go. Where hey, we have our one star, but then build all these like gritty guys around him, which that is fun to see.
That's why I think sports are returning back to finish
The
that point.
NBA,
I think they're
the
coming
NBA is crazy. What happened these last couple of days with the trades and like I feel like Boston just kind of dumped Porzingis.
everything.
Like they
Yeah.
literally just
And
dumped him.
Drew
Yeah,
Holiday's
because they
gone.
didn't want to pay the luxury tax. Like
Yeah.
that whole
It's
part of
crazy.
that business is wild. And
crazy,
we
yeah.
talk about bench players. Like a bench player, a role player, special teams player in the NFL is making probably the minimum, like
Yeah.
the vet minimum, or they're on a special teams contract like Killebrew, which is a great deal, but
But
it's not
NBA?
like these NBA bench players are getting like $60 million.
What did
Yeah.
they say yesterday? There was like, if they go to the NBA Finals, everybody on the team gets like 500,000 or something.
That was for their in-season tournament that they
in-season
run.
tournament,
Yeah,
yeah,
they all
They
like.
wanted that incentive to.
So if they win
Yeah.
that in-season tournament, they all get $500K. So like you a bench player or a two-way contract guy that's up from the G League, you get $500K.
That's huge, bro.
Yeah.
That's massive.
Like sure, to these guys that are making $70 million a year, like
Right.
they don't give a shit.
but they do it for their guys.
But they do it for their guys, and that's what makes that. I like that format with that in season. They stole that from the Premier League, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
also clap it up for the Indiana Pacers, the Oklahoma Thunder, because they really built their teams,
Yeah,
right?
they
They
did.
started with Shai, then they built around Shai. Now they have a strong team that's won the finals. Same thing with Indiana. Indiana built that team. Like it took a while.
It's
Yeah.
kind of cool for I don't know, like when we grew up, like it was KD, Russ on OKC
Exactly,
yep.
when OKC
James
moved,
Harden.
Harden in those earlier days. We've
Siakam
seen them go
surge.
different spots, and now like OKC comes back full circle. And this dude Jalen Williams is a freak from Santa Clara. Like
Freak.
where the hell? That's just like a testament to what we say. If you're good, they're gonna
They'll
find
find
you.
They're gonna
Yeah.
find you.
Yeah.
Like, it don't matter. Like that guy, Santa Clara, like I don't even know what they play in the Pacific Coast or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But that means you got good coaching too, bro. Like this was the first time I've seen NBA coaches actually coaching their ass off. Like
Yeah.
you have the Pacers who are playing full speed up and down the court, bro. Remind me a lot of Sean Miller and what's TJ McConnell's dad's name? Full name?
Tim.
Tim. Yeah.
Yo, so that's why I'm like, because I remember being in a middle school, elementary school, going to go watch TJ McConnell, going to go watch these people. And I'm from Apollo, PA, bro. That's
Yeah.
about an hour from where you're at.
So you came to watch me.
Yeah, I did. I ain't gonna lie. That also means you're old as shit.
We're gonna talk about when he's on here. We're gonna talk about my days as
You played defense.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
come on.
You played
I
real
saw
defense.
Cam Johnson from Moon.
Oh.
He upped. I mean, he's been a very successful NBA player.
He's on the
Carolina.
Nuggets now.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
just got traded.
I'm upset that
Crazy.
he started at Pitt and then didn't finish at Pitt.
Yeah, that hurts.
Like that hurts. Like we got a hometown kid. Like fuck, we got to keep him at Pitt.
Yeah.
Right.
But he was on someone's podcast and he said he was talking about T and and how he was in high school.
Oh yeah,
He dropped
I saw
buckets.
that.
Yeah,
30-something.
Then they pulled up the film of our state championship game, and he's just cruising by people, laying it up at the cup. Like
Yeah, I saw
he's
the
been
highlight
doing.
film
Yeah,
of that.
I was on the bench that game. I had a broken back.
Role player.
I broke my back in the
Vibes
whip.
guy.
I broke my back in the Whippeal finals. It was bad.
That's another thing we saw in the finals, though. Role players playing their role, bro.
Yes.
You don't see that often.
And look at the scorecards. There was, a different guy getting 15 points like every other
every
night.
night,
So which
yep.
that's really cool to see. But we're honestly like I think we're not even at the start of the drama for the NBA because Damian Lillard just gets waived, which is crazy.
Crazy.
And we're talking
Right.
They
a
got
Hall
to
of
pay him
Famer.
$20 million for the next 5 years.
Yeah. So like that's crazy. Giannis is pissed. They just got Miles Turner ended up going to the Bucks. So Giannis,
Same play.
I'm
Where does he go?
upset that Indiana let him go. Miles
Yeah, I
Turner.
don't
understand
mean, he was born not born in Indiana, but he's been with the Pacers. Like he's their
Long time.
longest tenured player. I mean,
It's crazy.
he's like their cornerstone of their franchise, and they traded him. I saw Windhorst say like, if I'm an Indiana Pacers player or fan, like I'm screaming my head off.
Yeah. Back to the business. It's just
Business
the business.
side.
Like
Yeah.
you just go to the finals, and you've been there all your time. Go through all the ups and downs. Go to the finals. Unfortunately, lose to a horrible injury, which they were talking about. The Achilles and like
So
all
bad.
these guys under this certain age, and why is this happening more? And I think it's just dudes pushing their limits like so far. But yeah, he got.
Did
kicked to
they
the
did they
curb,
say Halliburton's calf was a direct correlation to his Achilles
or it
injury?
had to be?
It had to be,
Had
bro.
to be.
If you watch it over again, bro, like you could just see on how it just.
Snap.
Thing exploded.
Exploded,
I was
too.
sitting
That
in the
shit
bar.
exploded.
I was sitting in the bar in Indiana when it happened, and I've never been
Devastating.
in a quieter
Yeah,
bar. It was
yeah.
the craziest
Bro,
thing,
because
man.
honestly, bro, like that game 7, he's in that game.
It was, dude, he was
He
hooping.
was hooping. He had
You
three
know.
threes in the first quarter. I mean,
that's where we're at nowadays, bro. Like guys are a lot stronger than they've ever been. Guys are a lot faster, but
It's
also
pushing the human body.
we also got to continue to find ways through sports medicine. And this is why I think sports medicine is never going to go away, because they got to keep these guys on the court. They got to keep these guys on the field, right? So they're probably going to go back, right? The trainer's going to go back and figure out, okay, like what do we have to change in your training?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to go back and do the sports science aspect of it. My question is like, where is sports going next? Because I feel like sports are coming back where kids are now getting more involved with it because it's more interesting again. Because for a while, you started to see a lot more kids becoming streamers, a lot more kids becoming
Esports.
You know what I'm saying? Esports.
Yeah.
But like now that stuff like this has happened, that we're having these conversations, you're seeing kids getting that interest again, enjoying the sport. They want to see the sport. So where do you think sports is going to go, man? Do you think that dominant 1990 that everybody talks about is coming back in football and basketball, or is it just?
I think I think all sports are at I think they're at an all-time high right
do
now.
too.
Like I just like the competition, the level of talent
So
that like
great.
everybody has trainers at
Right.
5 years old. So like everyone has a golf coach at like 5 years old. I mean, everybody's got a personal trainer now that whether they're a good trainer or not, they're it's forcing the kid to practice more.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I think the game, every sport's just going to keep evolving. Like
Yeah.
the talent level, and then obviously kids are bigger, faster, stronger.
Facts.
Yeah.
And
what-
there's
like-
just so much information like you.
Right.
If you don't know how to do something in your sport, you're
on you.
one
Yeah, you
click
can
away
learn-
from it.
right.
It's so easy to
One
find,
click
like-
away. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think things are already trending into like I think people are waking up to like holy shit, social media is consuming us at such a like disgusting rate, or just technology. So I think people are like forcefully like implementing like, hey, we got to be more active, got to go like actually get back a little bit more to our roots.
Yeah.
But
Right.
as far as the trending of where sports are going to go, I just want to see that new juice league or whatever it's called. The what's it called? The it's like the Olympics for like steroids. I don't
Oh,
know.
you're
You
wild.
see that swimmer guy?
Wait, actually?
Yeah, there's a league that's being I don't know like how where
They're
it's in the
allowing
process.
steroids.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you beat now this is all just stuff I'm hearing online, so if it like comes out that it's not happening or whatever, I don't want to hear it. But there's a league right now that can't remember what it's called. It's called like the Juice League or Special League. I don't know. But so the first guy that they had that's going to be representing this, he's an Olympic swimmer or ex-Olympic swimmer, and the goal is to if you can take steroids, like the whole league is like everybody's going to be performance
This can't
enhancing.
be real.
No, I swear to God. And there's a picture of the swimmer, how he was like before it, like when he was in the
It's
Olympics.
called the Enhanced Games.
Enhanced Games. That's what it's called.
Really?
And they have a picture of him
That's
now.
crazy.
Dude, he was like this, and you get $1 million if you beat records is like the main goal. So for swimming, it's like if you beat.
It's like Hunger Games, cuz this is
Yes.
crazy.
I want to see that in NFL, NBA, MLB now.
Would that
like, let's go.
Would that piss you off though if you're a guy like Michael Phelps that has all these records?
No, I think you just know. It's
yeah, but like if someone goes out and does beat your record, steroids or not, like Barry Bonds, like
I think you just kind of.
Are we just gonna knock that Barry Bonds hit 72 home runs in a year, like because he was on steroids?
Yeah,
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we're not. The dude still hit 72 home runs.
know.
Like, steroids don't teach you how to hit the ball out of the
Right.
park.
That's true.
They give you a little boost, maybe if you're feeling sore. Like,
Yeah.
right? Is that what they like?
No.
His
well,
recovery.
Barry Bonds grew about 15 hat sizes, so that's a bit of. He wasn't just recovering.
That dude, because
that
he
was
could
growing
rake before,
bones.
though.
But he was still.
He was raking before.
Exactly.
He
He
was
was
a
still-
dog.
He was. Oh yeah, for sure. Like I don't want to take that away from the previous, and it's so hard. It's going to be an everlasting debate on like things like that. The guys that used it and didn't, and then there are probably guys that never got caught for it.
Yeah.
Can I be honest?
Facts.
I just feel like if you like, okay, protein's one thing, yeah. But if you use steroids, to me, you're just a bitch. And I don't mean no disrespect, but it's just like, let's keep it real
I
funky.
say shoot up everybody.
Tom,
Yeah.
I want Kuntz on steroids snapping the ball back 150
You gotta put a
miles
hole
per
through
hour.
my man, bro.
Tom Aspinall, the heavyweight, he said that he was like, listen, if you're using steroids in our sport, like you're a bitch.
You're a bitch.
Yeah.
Like you're cheating everybody. You're cheating the whole system. You're cheating the sport.
You're scared.
But there's definitely dudes that are on them and they
Yeah.
find blockers or something to get around them. Like, I mean,
Right.
Bro, and that's why I really have fell in love with amateur sports lately, just because like I like to see guys when they're at their lowest really out here fighting, because at that point you know you're getting their real self out here.
They're
you
Nah,
know?
that's where you find the
Nothing.
most steroids, bro. There ain't no testing down there.
Now I will say this, I ain't gonna lie to you,
Right.
Swing. There's some guys you look at, you're like, without question, bro, you got too many pimples on your back. You look crazy, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you look at, you're like, bro, like, come on, bro. You gonna go here and smack this man? You gonna go back to the cage?
no, that's definitely a real thing. I mean, everyone's trying to find a loophole to be better at something, you know, whether
Yeah.
it's freaking swimming, UFC. I feel like it probably goes on more in UFC and boxing more than any other sport.
Bro, when you watch UFC, sometimes when you see somebody get knocked unconscious, I sometimes really think like, yo, if you put steroids behind some of these punches,
They kill you.
People go to sleep.
you're murdered.
Forever.
You're dead.
Yeah.
You're gone for life. Like it's
Could you
crazy.
imagine though, like UFC's on steroids, dudes just gorillas fighting in a ring. Like
It'd be
it'd be insane. And I think there has to be, you have to draw the line somewhere. Like, so obviously, like, I don't condone like wanting to see steroids in sports, even though it'd be so cool to just watch 900-foot home runs and like
85-yard
TJ Watt
field
just
goals
like
and
taking down 9 players at a time. Like it would be cool, but yeah, you do just for like the actual like love of the game and just for things to like be realistic, because then that's where I think you start seeing like some really gruesome injuries. Like
TJ would saw somebody in half.
yeah, could you imagine like
I don't want to
a
imagine
James
him.
Harrison on
No,
steroids?
No, hell no. I don't
No.
like or Aaron Donald.
You could,
Oh
like,
my lord.
could you imagine?
I don't
Like,
want to imagine those guys any bigger, stronger
I know.
than they already are.
But it's still so cool to think about.
Like, it's
so
crazy.
cool.
It is
It
crazy.
would be so cool. That's why they just need, all they got to do to like fill that little need that like fans and people around, just bring back NFL Blitz.
That was
that
my
was the game where you
favorite
like
game,
you had to
bro.
like the thing
I lo-
Shoot up.
like, oh,
Back in the game.
yeah.
NFL Blitz, NBA Street,
That was
NFL
my
Street.
game. That was
Bro,
my
I,
game.
I wish PS5. Do they have that for PS5?
I don't know.
I think I do think like the like major sports leagues like that were like, hey, we can't do this. Like I remember like
MLB
as a kid.
Slugfest.
Oh yeah, and then like you'd have the one where in the football you'd watch their bones like break. It
I
would
remember
actually
that
like
game.
zoom
I remember
in
that game.
X-ray. It's like
Yep.
it's like Mortal Kombat and
Football
Madden coming together,
Yeah, I remember playing
which
Gruesome.
fucking cool. Okay? It's cool. Okay, and just put it in video games so we can fantasize about it. Okay, it's cool.
that game. Dark side
Yeah.
of Jesse right there.
Yeah.
It is cool. I am excited though about this enhanced Olympics. Like this is.
I hope it's a real thing, and you know what you're signing up for. Like you're like, hey, but I hope it gets enough recognition that like they could really put together teams, and like I want to see a baseball game with like everybody juiced out of their minds.
108-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, like
Like imagine Skeens on
yeah, I was gonna say
steroids.
Skeens on roids,
Scary.
and then Judge on roids.
Judge would be
Just-
terrifying.
I'm curious of like what exactly steroids like what benefits would it do for for each sport, I guess you can say, like a baseball player?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not teaching them how to swing.
Yeah.
Like Barry Bonds had the most pure swing. Him, Ken Griffey, like his
Yeah.
swing was all. He took steroids. His swing was the same. Yeah, he grew 15 hat sizes, but his swing was the same though.
Yeah. I think it just gives you that extra. One, the recovery, because you're going to be on the field like best availability or best.
Best ability.
Yeah, best ability is availability. So that's big, but then also
The focus.
yeah,
People don't talk about it.
yeah, getting
People don't talk
locked
about
in,
it.
being locked in like that.
These
But
boys lock in different off the juice.
you know,
For
you
real?
watch
Is that a
like,
thing? That's a thing.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, like you gotta think
Hyper-focused
you're
crazy.
hyper focused.
Yeah.
Like, okay, for example, because we all go through it. We all get into a game where we're like, oh, bro, like I was so locked in, I don't even remember what happened. It just happened,
100%.
right? Now take that times 5. You know what I'm saying? Because like some guys, bro, they get so laser point in, bro. Like, it's dangerous. That's why, like, I think personally they don't allow people to take steroids in certain sports and do some of these things because, like, bro, you're turning this man into a literal machine.
Right,
Machine.
right.
Like he's
There's ethics behind it.
yeah, like you're unlocking certain parts of your brain when you're doing this. You understand me? So like you got to be careful. At the end of the day, you got to be careful. But at the same sense, bro, like I always compare it to this. Like you see a guy on the street and he's taking steroids, it ain't gonna change the fact you still gonna fight this man. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. You got to figure it out. You know what I mean? So
I mean, I always wondered about Adderall. Like I know Adderall's illegal for all sports.
Yeah.
And that's like a ADD medicine, like I guess. And I never taken Adderall, so I couldn't.
Yeah,
tell
it either
you.
really focuses you or amps you up. It's one of the two. Like depending on like your biological makeup, it's gonna amp you up or zone you in really good.
and I low key feel like they'd be giving some players Adderall for certain pain and
Gotta
certain things. Like either they mix it with another pill. Because I remember having these game day pills that used to make me focus way too much. Like to the point where I'm looking at the ball and the ball seems a lot slower than what it's supposed to be.
Well, you're on pre-workout,
Whatever it may be,
Right.
bro. Like
twitching.
listen, bro. Like I done taken Toradol, anything to get myself back in the game, bro.
That's part of it. Best ability is availability.
You know?
Yeah.
Coach T says it.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna what's cool though is like athletes and training and the sports science is getting to a point where it's like almost naturally like these guys are enhanced, but
Yeah.
it is natural.
Shohei
but-
Ohtani.
Yeah, like Shohei, like
Crazy.
He's already
that's like such a crazy situation, and I don't know if we'll ever see anything like that.
he
in the
pitched.
near
He's
future.
literally pitching,
He's
and
pitching,
he hits.
and he just hit his 30th home run of the year.
But do you
Yeah.
notice the workouts changing? Like a lot of the workouts, remember, used to be the Olympic list, straight up and down. But a lot of guys now are doing a lot of movement workouts.
Yeah,
with,
look at
like,
Skeens.
That's like,
Yeah.
like when people are like, "What do you do for training?" Like, every guy in the NFL is strong enough to a point where like, dude, you know, I'm 31. Like, how much more stronger am I going to get?
Right.
You know, at this point.
Steroids.
Yeah, that's
No, I'm kidding.
but no, seriously, like for me at least, like movement and like being
Right.
able to move, being able to
Right.
get in my stance, and like
Liability.
if you're a linebacker and you're already like you're benching 350, like whatever you're doing, like you're strong enough. Like you got to make sure you can move, and by doing the movement stuff, your longevity's increased.
For
Right.
sure. You're building
So
up muscle.
it's all band resistance, single leg hops, like sticking plyo sticks, like different stuff for training.
Well,
Like
you see when they ask these big NFL guys, like, "Oh, what's your max bench?" Like, they never have a real answer because they never
They don't
actually
care about
max.
it.
They don't care.
dude,
That's not
I don't.
important.
I
Your
couldn't
worst
tell you the
injury.
last time I max benched or max
Yeah,
squatted.
for what?
Like,
Not important.
why would we? Like,
Yeah,
what,
you're
there's
not
no point
bodybuilding,
just to
it's
hurt
not-
your body.
Yeah.
You just want to be healthy. Like,
Yeah.
if we
Yes.
can maintain health, and I can keep you strong
That's
and
it.
flexible. Because you got to think too. You guys play a long season. I had to say this to a high schooler the other day. They were like, "I don't understand why NFL guys do this." I said, "Whoa! You play 9 games in a season. Now add another 9 to that season, and then add another 5 if you make it to the Super Bowl, and then add age on top of that."
And then
And then
add the
add training
preseason.
camp.
Preseason,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying? And they started, as I started saying the number on how many games you guys really play and how much y'all really do. They're like, "Oh shit, that's a lot."
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of football.
Dude, 21 games guaranteed. I mean, you got 3 preseason, 18 regular season,
Yeah.
or 17. No,
That's-
17 or 18.
It's 18. Well, 17 you get a bye week.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
18
couple.
weeks, 17 seasons, 20 games guaranteed. Sorry, I'm like, I'm thinking 20 weeks, 'cause 21 weeks, but it's a long season. Danny Smith calls it. He's like, you got the preseason, you got the regular season, you got the postseason. And like OTAs and this training camp's not even part of the preseason.
Right.
Like you don't even start your season 5 weeks into training camp, then you start a preseason.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy, bro, because again, like you see Skeens and how he warms up and how he works out, bro. Like that is the newer age, and it's honestly what people don't understand. It's a Russian way of working out because the Russians kind of implied it and kind of grew it, right? And then the Americans kind of just took off with it. And now you're starting to see guys a lot more pliable, which a lot more speed comes with pliability, a lot more strength because you're working the small twitch muscles in your body. You're working the knees, you're working the elbows. Like me now, because I train kids, so me now, if I was going back into the league and I could train that way, I would focus on that way over benching 225 however many times, or squatting however much, or deadlifting how much I could.
You do more plyo, like weighted
Way
stuff,
more.
weight
Yeah.
shifting. Like,
Because you protect your body that way. You also got to think, bro, you grow so much muscle, right, when you're working out that hard, and now your ligaments haven't caught up.
Right.
Like for me, I gained 20 pounds in the summer. My ligaments wasn't ready. I was explosive, but my ligaments wasn't ready for that.
Ready,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They didn't grow into that yet. So like, that's just some of the things. That's why I see a lot more guys being a lot more healthy. And one of the leaders in that was Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Brady was the first person to be like, yo, like I stopped lifting heavy to get more pliable.
Too.
LeBron, like they had to.
Yeah, and you see the like historic numbers of people returning from like ACL tears and stuff like that. Like I just saw Jason Tatum already like back working out. Rodgers had like a really, especially at his age,
recovered fast as shit.
Recovered super fast. J.K. Dobbins.
Dude, did you see Rodgers' Enigma on Netflix? I mean, it was a cool documentary. I mean, I'm not just saying that because he's my teammate now, whatever. But it was a cool documentary. Like it gave you an insight of like how hard this dude works.
Yeah.
Like and then it gave you a story about him growing up and like he wasn't handed he was at a JUCO.
Yeah,
it was JUCO coach,
kid.
and like he went to Cal. Wasn't it? They were like, all right, we got this kid from California. Then he went to Cal and balled out, and now like
yeah, and I think he's one of the more surprising like hated by the fans and the public. Which I get the whole thing that during our beautiful 2020 year we had.
Nobody liked 2020.
Beyond that, like people are like, oh, this guy cares about his mental health. Like I hate this dude, or like he's like try like. It's just so ridiculous that people think that you guys are supposed to be like robots or whatever.
He couldn't be cooler.
That's what I mean. Like he
I'm
comes
just being
on.
honest.
Personally, I want to hang out with the dude after the offseason.
Yeah.
I'm being real. Like he couldn't have been cooler. Like he's a dude. He's just a dude. Like he's just a really good football player, and he's a smart. He reads. He's a detailed oriented. He's a fucking superstar.
Yeah, and he's well spoken. Like he literally goes on the Pat McAfee show every Tuesday and just like chops it up. He's like, yeah, all those stupid stories, like this is what happened. And he's like, it's so crazy. I hope, I really do, like, by some grace of God that he gets to come on this podcast, just because I want to confirm for myself, like, he is like what I think he is. And I think he is just a dude's dude that like cares about a lot of things. Like, and then it's all the littlest things. Like you'll see people like, oh, he's walking on the beach instead of signing a contract. Just the most ridiculous shit. Like when he was going through shit.
What happened to minding your goddamn business?
I know.
Well, when you're that famous, like
it's impossible.
It's impossible, which sucks because like
talking about his
wants to be left alone.
Shit.
Like wouldn't you want to be left alone? Like,
could you imagine if like the headline was like, oh, is Christian Kuntz married? Like he didn't put his wife on social media. Blah blah blah. Like it's got to be so invasive and like. There are certain celebrities that are actually just batshit crazy, but there is a huge part of me that's like, I could never imagine, like, going to a grocery store or doing anything ever,
and not being
everybody's just like up your ass. Hey, blah, 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 what about this? And again, it's just the roles reversed. Like if that was you or if that was your cousin,
if you don't
you're an
answer,
asshole.
You're a bad person.
Then you're a bad person.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I know we're getting long-winded, but I saw some of Mahomes was playing in a golf tournament, and some guy was like, just sign this for my kid. He's in the middle of a golf tournament. Like there's like thousands of people there around him. And he's like, oh, I can't, like I'm playing. Like I'm playing a competitive whatever. He's like, I can't make everybody happy. I'm sorry. Like, and the dad like kind of ripped him a little bit, and he got some backlash on social media. But it's like, dude.
I was just about to say, did you see the Jamar Chase one?
It was terrible, bro.
Sitting on a plane, hoodie up, just trying to mind his own business and just get to wherever he's going.
That sucks.
And there's just some fucking dork like, hey, you should have signed that autograph. That's Jamar Chase over there. Like,
that's the same fucking dork that said what he said about Minkah being slow. And the reason why I say it like that is because these guys they have opinions with no actual result of them doing those things.
Yeah.
And that to me, like, I get it, it's clickbait, bro, but like you gotta give these guys some grace, bro. Like if a dude doesn't want to sign something, bro, like he's probably had the longest day of the week, and you're mad at him because he won't sign something for you. Why are you a grown ass man begging another grown ass man for a signature?
On his
Yes.
Like you are a grown ass man.
I was going to say, there should just be disclaimers that anybody that ever speaks about sports, every single time they get on the show, they go, I just want to disclaim that I could never do any of this. I am literally worthless on the field. Like, what I am saying is just pure speculation in comparison to other great athletes.
I'd be happy.
And then you go into
and then you can say what you want.
Yeah,
I agree.
Let's
with
bring
that.
back
I try to do
Average
that anytime
Joes.
I speak back.
Remember Shaq's show, Average Joes? Let's bring that back.
Pros versus Joes.
Yeah,
Pros
yeah,
versus
let's bring it
Joes
back.
was one of the greatest things because they're like, oh, let's get this old retired guy off the couch still to kick your ass. That's like, and you're still in your prime. You're in your mid 30s, and this dude's 60. and
There's a
still
couple
hitting home
guys that have shows in Pittsburgh that I would love to see do that.
We honestly,
Anything.
I wouldn't mind
Run a
bringing
straight
something like
line.
that back and like putting the pros versus Joes, getting a 3-on-3 team of like, okay, we'll put like DeJuan Blair on a team. Guarantee he could still hoop.
Yeah.
We'll put like 3 retired basketball players from Pittsburgh on a team.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll get like the best players from here, like best LA fitnessers.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll put them out there and we'll see. And these guys, I guarantee they'll lose 11-0.
Yeah, you don't even have to get as big of a name as DeJuan Blair. Now I know he didn't have like a crazy like prominent name in the league, but like you could just get a bench guy or a guy that was like really something.
Scalabrine. Did you see Brian Scalabrine? They were
perfect.
throwing him
Cooking
out
people.
there, and he was killing everybody.
Yes.
Everybody.
That
Murder
dude
people.
averaged like 3 points in the NBA
NFL's
every
different.
year. and he
NFL's
still
different
balls.
than the NBA. I will say that because anybody in the NBA is chop cheese and anybody
Chop
that's-
cheesing,
like
for
chop
sure.
cheese.
Every
Like
day.
if you look
Yeah,
at TJ McConnell because he's 6
He's
whatever,
frying.
and you think that he's not gonna give you the business, he's gonna give you 45 just because he don't give LeBron 86 or 45, right? Bro, don't mean shit when it comes to you. That is LeBron James.
What people don't understand is like, not even that you wouldn't be able to stop TJ. Like if you were trying to guard him, like you might be able to be physical with him and foul the hell out of him and not let him get a shot up, or something like that. But like even on the defensive end, if you're trying to score on him, I don't think we would like. I'm dead serious. If he checked the ball up to me, I don't know if I'd be able to put the ball on the ground 3 times before he ripped me or made me feel uncomfortable to pick up the
back
ball.
straight, and my back is straight to
Yeah.
him the whole time.
And,
Like,
and even at that point, like he would still make me probably feel uncomfortable, like, and I'd have to pick up the ball. Then I'm
Right.
done.
Yeah.
nah, for sure.
And that's like what's so crazy about the pros, and that is why I mostly watch and focus on pro sports, just because it is the best of the best. But there's that the age-old debate about like Duke when Zion was there, if he were to play the Cavaliers at the one. Like I've always heard of people talking about like, oh, Duke's team would smoke the Cavaliers.
Or like Bama would beat the worst NFL team. Come on.
I want to just get everybody's opinion on this. Do you think any college team would ever beat the worst
Never.
pro
No
team
shot.
ever?
Never.
Never. Okay,
No
thank
shot.
you.
Never in any
Never,
sport.
ever. Yeah, it's
about
so ridiculous.
It's
like
the best of the best on one team. In the start, you got to think like in the NFL.
Yes.
Like you're thinking about the guy who hasn't even made the 53 man was the top receiver at his school.
Yes.
You feel me? So like,
yes.
I've seen guys like I forget his name, John Ross or something that ran like a 4 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Washington.
He's no longer on it. If he is on a team, he's not a big name right now.
No.
So you're
he's
like,
done.
you're
Yeah.
talking about guys, Tavon Austin.
Yeah.
Like we can keep going, bro. Like I
Yeah.
can keep going for a minute. There's guys that you would never even touch who have not made it to the starting 22 people on the field.
I like to
Yes.
put it this way. If you put together like the 22 best NFL free agents right now, not even free agents, you could say guys that have never even
Sitting
been
on
on
the
a
couch
team,
right now.
that are
Yeah.
sitting on their couch still training to try to make the NFL, they would beat the best college team.
100%.
Yeah.
The best guys that are not on the team right now, if you put them all on one team, train them for 6 months with
Yeah.
training camp, whatever, they would beat the best college
Yeah,
team.
the
And they're not
guys that
even
are
on
getting
NFL
looked
team.
Now there's
Yep.
some freak teams like there was a 2015 Ohio State team. They had like 22 guys go drafted high. Okay, that's 1 in a million. One, but also 2. Again, you're talking about kids who come in as rookies, and not all those guys are all stars in the NFL. Like
Right.
hardly any of them have stayed and
Right,
end up being
right.
an all star in the NFL. So like,
Yeah,
you're talking about guys on an NFL team who are the best of the best starting out there.
100%.
The only place where you might catch guys who are like that you could find somebody who is on the couch to play a role is like certain special teams, and even then that's pushing it.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, and if you think about it, if an offense is set up with all guys that are going to go to the pros, except for your left guard, and he's going to be an accountant, and you're playing against a pro team, a pro bench team, right? They're just going to all focus. Like, if you just even had to all focus on that one guy that's going to be the accountant, you could disrupt a whole entire game through one hole on the team.
Yeah.
So my point is like, when you're looking at a professional roster, every single person on that team is been through the ringer, tried and true, that person is meant to be playing at a pro level.
I want a
100%.
statistic, and I want you to look up the statistic. How many teams, what's the average of first-round draft picks on every team? Because now when you start looking at that number, all those guys y'all think is going to beat them, right? He's going to beat this low-level. For example, when Cleveland Browns was terrible, they had like 7 guys who were drafted first round. They just didn't have what they needed in that time.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like a Myles Garrett going against the accountant.
Right.
Like,
it just takes that one.
Like, it's not going to happen.
It's like we were talking about TJ, being able to disrupt the whole game, force fumbles, interceptions,
Yeah.
sacks, like, and sometimes like that is, other than the defense holding it down for the rest of the game, those 4 plays that TJ Watt made in the game
game-changing.
is the game. So
The whole
like,
game.
it just takes one hole on one of those superstar college teams that they have for the whole entire game to get shifted in a different direction, because they're playing
100%.
against a team full of bench pros.
100%.
I was going to say, KD literally just said it on a podcast the other day with LeBron. He was like, if you're the weak spot on your team, coaches go at you every single play down the court.
Yeah.
That's why TJ McConnell was so impressive in the finals, because people looked at him as a weak spot.
He wasn't a weak
on
spot.
business the
You
whole
see how
time.
they defended him game 7? They were like, we need to stop
Yep,
this
that's
man.
the problem. He's
He's
the
a
problem.
problem.
And
Um,
how long did he stay in the league?
That was his 11th year, I believe.
That's a blessing.
Blessing, crazy. But I want to kind of open this up. We got a couple more minutes left. You know, I want to talk about some of the comments. I want to leave it open to some of the people listening to leave comments, to give us some topics. You know, I know, shout out to Bill West. Bill West, a loyal listener, another loyal listener. He said we need a little more controversy. So we need a little controversy on this show. We need to disagree, which I'll give you a topic right now we could disagree or agree on. At what weight class, if you're fighting right now in a UFC fight versus a professional, could you win?
Ooh.
Would it be a female fight? Would it be a female fighter? Or would it be like
gonna
a,
have to be a female?
So
None of y'all motherfuckers got a shot.
all right, so let me say, if I got into the rink with one of the 120 pounders, I'm 120 pounds more than them.
Can I be honest?
What's going on?
Hey,
Am I grabbing him though? You saw what
You're gonna grab him, but he's also gonna grab you.
You see what the O lineman did to Strickland.
100%. But can I be honest? I'll just be real.
Yeah.
There's actual events in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where there are different weight classes and they go at it. And the smaller guy typically wins. Now, it's not the thing that, yes, you could grab this little man. You can grab him. But this man is trained to murder your face.
Trey, how big is Lucas?
Okay.
Lucas
Shout out to my man, Lucas Siebert.
Lucas is beating the brakes
All right.
on everybody in this
I'm
room.
just being honest.
How big is Lucas?
Shout out to my man, Lucas Siebert. Lucas Siebert is fighting at like 135, 145.
He's beating the brakes
But-
off everybody in this
But
room.
what people forget is people think because he's in the ring at that size or whatever the weight was. Let me explain to you on what happens at these face-offs. Okay, they're only that skinny and that amount of weight to go and weigh themselves in that face-off. After that, they go eat like crazy to get back to their normal weight. So when you see guys, I'm 185, right? Israel Adesanya fights at 185.
Oh my goodness.
I'm 185. So what does that mean? You think I'm jumping in the ring with a 6'5" mammoth? I'm not doing it. Alex Pereira is 205. How much do you weigh?
240.
Okay, so let me explain something to you. Alex Pereira is walking around at 250. He's cutting down to that weight. So all these guys who are going into that weight, you're seeing 135, but he really weighs 185.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
All
So
right,
you
well.
go ahead and jump in that ring if you want to.
All right, maybe I'll go down to the female class.
I'm going. And even then, it still might not work.
I was gonna say our best shot is ages 10 to 14.
Like
10
G-shit.
to 14.
I watch
and
a
14
female-
we're sweating. Like,
Listen,
been snuck.
I've faced this in my life. Like these females ain't nothing to deal with. Like you don't want to deal with these girls.
No,
You even
because
like
I think it's also like you got to remember, like there you could rely on brute strength, but like there's so much, especially in a UFC, where it's all just angles. Like I've seen videos just like the smallest dude just absolutely bodying
do this,
some big ass person.
That's what you gonna be doing when you think you should go away.
You just get one jab on your chest, you lose the wind.
Help me, please.
I'm okay.
You gonna look at the ref like this. Help me.
Yeah.
Call the game. It's over. I don't want to.
All right.
And they're 15.
All right, so we're not beating any UFC.
Fuck no.
Any weight class.
Hey man, listen.
No amateurs, no none of that. Like they're skilled in their skilled in their
You practice
fields.
every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
Okay, think about this. You practice every day to snap a ball between your legs, right?
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker practice every day to punch you dead in your fucking face.
And not die.
And not die.
And know all your weak points. Know like where.
There's no weak
like,
points.
Body weight. Yeah, no weak points.
No, all right. Well,
100%.
that was our topic of the day. I had to bring that up because our friends will be like, I'd like my boy Mickey would be like, I'll pop that. Mickey would be like, I'll pop that guy's head off. He weighs 130 pounds. I'm like,
right.
And Mickey be over there looking like a pretzel.
yeah.
Talking to his wife like, can you please get us in shorts?
You'll be folded up like a lawn chair. Well, boys, this is a great episode. I know we don't got a guest on, but sometimes that's not going to happen. We'll pick back up next week. This wraps up season 2, episode 4. We're cooking. Leave a comment what you want us to talk about. Bill West, I know you want some controversy. I can't even say controversy. Did I say it
Talk
right?
shit too in the comments if you want. I enjoy it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave a comment what you want us to talk about. We'll have some guests on next week. Following week, continue to keep this rolling. Thank you guys. Season 2, episode 4.
Bam. Bang. Hey.
Yeah.